Hello, you guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to Crazy and Fabulous.
Crazy and fabulous. What am I? You guys are crazy and fabulous. What am I in this equation?
We need a name for you.
Am I just like the ampersand in the middle?
No, you're the wonderful Oli.
Oli the Great. We'll call you Oli the Great.
You're the best part of this pod.
You actually are.
I'm actually not. That's crazy you guys say that because I don't think that's true at all. But
fact.
I appreciate it.
We've gotten great feedback. No, it's true.
No,
It's
we
true.
showed it with our friends and they were like, who's that guy, Oli?
It's like, where is he? He's
Like,
amazing.
yeah.
No, actually, they
You
really
guys
have.
are okay,
They
but
really
like,
have.
Oli really pulled this through.
It's like, no, seriously.
Okay, well, I'll just have to take your guys' word for it, I guess.
There are people out there that know about you.
Yep. Our latter-day followers, yes.
That sounds a little scary, to be honest. There are people out there who know about you.
They're fans of
What do they
yours.
know? How much do they know?
We were like, Oli's awesome.
Yeah, they don't know enough. They need to
Oh.
know more. Now that we just changed the subject. So, Oli.
So anyways, let's talk about anything else
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
like, anything but me. Thanks.
We're your biggest fans.
I appreciate it. I love all my fans.
We're going to make a fan club for you.
Yep.
The Oli fan club.
Yes, that's happening in the near future. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways.
Let's transition. Today's episode, I would say, is a little more serious than what we did last time.
Yeah.
But very
For sure.
relatable. I think something we've experienced for sure.
Yeah. I think, for sure. It's definitely a topic that hits home for both of us, and it's a sensitive topic. And again, that a lot of people don't like addressing or diving into. So, yeah, it's definitely a shift in
Let's
energy.
dive
but
in.
we're excited. We're excited to dive in, guys. We're excited.
Diving
Anyways.
right in.
Anyways.
We're a little late. I think this episode, specifically referring to Summer House,
Yeah.
was it episode 6 or
Episode 5.
episode 5?
Season 6, episode 5. Birthday Hex was the episode.
Ooh, you
Yes.
even know the name.
Oh, you have it to the minute too.
Watched it
Like, could
this
you tell us
morning.
exactly when?
Yes, at the exact but
At 3 minutes and 52 seconds.
yeah. But basically, do you want to give context?
No,
Or
go for it.
So basically, in this episode, one of the main characters, Maya, talked about what it's like being a black woman, especially in an environment, a conservative environment, primarily of white people. And I feel like when Storm and I watched that, we resonated with a lot of what she was saying, and it brought back sensitive times from high school, and even as recently as like a couple weeks ago at
Yeah.
Starbucks. Like, so
Yeah.
we kind of want to address that and dive into those issues because it is something that gets shoved under the rug a lot and it doesn't get talked about. So that's what we're hoping to do.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
too, just to like also add some context, Summer House is basically a show about a group of friends in New York who go out to the Hamptons every weekend over the summer and just go party and live their best lives, and we're here for it.
Which is amazing.
Right. I think last season maybe was the first time they had an actual black cast member on the show,
Yeah.
Sierra, who I was obsessed with the fact
Not
that...
me, I wish. One day, guys.
different Sierra. And then this season they actually had 2 black women, so Maya and Sierra,
Yeah.
who I think touched on some of the topics that we're going to talk about because it hits home for us very closely. We've been through that exact experience.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about some of Maya's stories and like how did she get here? Like basically set up the scene of like what happened in that episode for people who didn't watch it.
For sure. I mean, I was like fast forwarding through a lot of it. I really only saw because I don't really know like her. Like we can cut.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'll give the. So basically, what happens in the episode?
much.
Maya's new to the house. She this is her first time being a part of this type of environment, and so she went to private school, much like we did as well. And a very like triggering experience was for her was that there was only 2 black girls in her cohort at school at that time, and so she kept getting called the other girl's name.
Yep.
And she was like, why can't you just remember my name? It's not that hard. We look nothing alike.
Yeah.
And so in this episode specifically, there's Andre, who actually calls her the wrong name and calls her a different name. And I think she was already feeling like pressure of not fitting in or feeling like I'm not accepted into this group yet. I think in any situation it's hard to like conform and like figure out like who within the group do you like vibe with, don't vibe with, and like
Yeah.
I think the race topic on top of that, adding in like going into a majority of like people that are white, it makes it even more uncomfortable because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be accepted.
Yeah.
And so her getting called the wrong name like triggered all these experiences that she went through growing up that I think we've also experienced.
And and she touched on a great point, how people automatically expect less of you. They automatically expect you to be, I mean, mediocre is not a great word, but yeah, it's true. Like, oh, like they're ghetto, they're this, they're da 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 da. And then if you try to conform too much to like what is like considered white, you're considered whitewashed or like fake or like all these, like, it's just like
There's no winning.
there's no winning. Like
Yeah.
how are you, like, even if you are yourself, they're still gonna find some way to like shit on you. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like. And it sucks. It fucking sucks.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like we've been there.
for sure.
Like even like, what was it? Because we went to private school and like
Yeah.
there was a bit of a weird like even tension, I'd say, even in like our own school. Like,
Yep.
It's either you're too ghetto is the word, or you're too whitewashed, like you
Yeah.
said. And it's like, why can't I just be me? Like, why do I have to like
know.
fit into a category?
Yeah.
Like there were so
That's-
many instances where it's just like straightening your hair
Yeah.
or looking the part to feel accepted. Like it just, yeah.
And I feel like it was kind of a double-edged sword because, yeah, so like we were in a primarily white upper-class environment, right? And that was super, what's the right, not alienating, but like it just like,
Yeah.
it felt like we were in a box, and like naturally we gravitated towards the minority at the school. And even within that minority community, we like, remember like there were certain people who were like, oh, like even calling us whitewashed, like, oh, you're not black enough, oh, you're not this enough. So it was like, even within people we're supposed to resonate and identify with, we still felt like excluded and like we weren't enough. And it's like, well, shit, who the fuck am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's levels.
there's levels to this shit. Because even in the black community, we're like, okay, like, I guess this is where we go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, but you're like this, you're that. And it's like, like,
Where do you fit in then?
And high school's already hard enough. It's
Oh my
already,
God, yeah.
it's already puberty, all that, middle school, high school, all that shit is hard enough. And I just feel like when Maya, I don't know, it just really hit home when Maya was talking about those things. It like, I was like, yes,
So
I see you,
relatable.
I feel you,
Yeah.
I am you, I am you. So, yeah.
Because of my saying,
Yeah.
where did you like grow up? Like, where was the school? Was it like in
Cap
Seattle
Hill.
or
It's in Cap Hill, which is like a liberal area,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You would
Even in
think,
Seattle.
You
you
would
would think that
liberal
Seattle would be a
Seattle.
little bit more. What's the word?
No, Seattle's like one of, and I think that's the assumption that people make is like, Seattle's so liberal. Like, we basically still have modern day segregation if you look at Garfield High School. Like,
Yep.
they have,
Good point.
based on like your jurisdiction of like whether you went to where you went to middle school determines what floor of the school you're going to end up on. So like one neighborhood is severely under resourced. They share books. They don't have the ability to have like one-on-one resources, like even computers, little essential basic things, or they don't have after school programs. You go maybe like 5-6 blocks away, very different experience. They have all the funding. They have one book per child. They have all the computer resources in the labs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I had a cousin who went to the first middle school, and my mom was like, we can't have this. Like she's not being taught. They're like,
They just don't care.
They don't care. Even
Yeah.
the food that they're getting.
Ridiculous.
Don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
And so
Yeah.
that ultimately dictates what floor you end up on in the high school,
That's
because
so weird.
it's
Wow,
insane.
how is shit like that still
It's
in
like, what
existence?
fucking year is
Right?
it?
What year
What
is
fucking
it?
year is it, people?
I thought
Yeah.
we're like gonna go like fucking explore space now. Like, how are we gonna do that if
Right?
we're still like down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even like, you know, yeah, it's just
So-
ridiculous.
The two middle schools
Some
roll up
Neanderthal
to
shit.
one high school.
Okay.
And depending on what resources you get,
that's the
that
floor.
dictates, right, if you're an AP student, because you had more access, you had
Right.
more privilege, you had better resources
better
than you would.
teachers, more books, like
Right.
computers, all that kind of
Exactly. And so that it's essentially like the rest of your trajectory of life, which is crazy. And
Yep.
it's like right here in Seattle. But
Liberal
stuff.
Seattle.
The last place you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Liberal
We
Seattle.
really resonated with that.
For
Like,
sure. And I think things have gotten a little bit better, but I mean, Like, wrong is wrong. It's not enough.
Wrong
it's
is
not
wrong,
enough.
definitely.
And
Yeah.
the fact that this still
Yeah.
exists is just, like, mind-blowing to me. It's just...
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of crazy how much of these
It's
issues
triggering.
could just like go away and life would be significantly better because of it. Like if we all just figured it out,
Yeah.
but no.
Yep.
People want to, I don't know. It's hard when people just want to do their own,
Right.
live the way that they've been taught and,
Mhm.
like how they've grown up and
Brainwashed
stuff
bullshit.
like that. Just brainwashed bullshit.
Brainwash
exactly.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I appreciate about this episode.
It's
like
so sad.
right
It
after
is.
like when Maya and Sierra came to the circle and like they basically brought the whole house together, which
Mhm.
I applaud them so much
Yeah.
for like how bold, daring, and like strong they needed
Yeah.
to be to even open that conversation.
Especially on national TV, too.
Right?
I'm like, you got balls.
right?
No, sorry, that's like a no.
No, but it's true. It's like
balls, but-
all the things we think
Yeah.
we don't talk about, and
Yeah.
like I know we've had these discussions,
For
like,
sure.
but we never openly outright just have them because it's like I don't even know if I'm allowed to feel these things.
Yeah. In high school specifically, we just didn't feel like there was a safe place where we really could open up about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
Yeah.
one person,
Okay.
one counselor, I'm not going to say his name, but he literally, I think without him,
We wouldn't have
he
survived.
was an African-American counselor at our high school, and without him, we wouldn't have survived. We were there constantly.
To this day,
Constantly.
I think we still like have so
Yeah.
much gratitude and appreciation for having him in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. A good teacher
Yeah.
or someone you could go to, like, and just talk to anything about, like, in
Yeah.
high school, like, is a big thing.
For real. He was like our therapist.
Makes all the
Yeah,
difference.
exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But like their friend group, when they had that conversation, completely opened up and were like, all the responses that you dream of having when you
Yeah.
have these conversations, they were just like so warm and loving, and we're like,
Super
it's going to be
receptive.
our responsibility to also check in on you guys and make sure you do feel comfortable in these spaces, because like
Yeah.
taking ownership wasn't something I even thought of, that like, oh, we can hold each other accountable to like
Yep.
do these things too.
Mhm.
And not just like for us, but like even for other people that don't feel comfortable, whether it's race,
Mhm.
sexuality, gender, fluidity, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
understanding that like we're all dealing with some sort of issue of our own, like
Yeah.
just checking in on your friends and saying, I care for you.
Mhm.
And this would have never happened. Like, this is like, I feel like this is huge. Growing up, you would have never seen this on TV. You would have never
No.
seen anything remotely
No.
like this. And having like seeing that almost gives you permission.
Yeah.
Like, it gives us permission to do this, right?
Yeah.
And growing up, we never felt like, it just felt like you were silenced.
Yeah,
like, you just
no.
don't talk about
You
it.
didn't have a
It just
choice.
is what it is. It's like our
Yeah.
reality, period.
That's
You
never
just don't
how
talk about
is. I hate that
Yeah.
when it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I really appreciated that.
Yeah. It gives us hope.
It does
Yeah,
give us
that's good.
hope.
The hope is there. The hope is there.
But if you
Yeah.
can't tell, obviously like the theme here is like stereotypes and us like
Yeah.
defying.
Right, yeah.
Because they brought up a really good point. They were like, you constantly feel like you're living up to a certain standard of like expectations. Either you talk a certain way,
Mhm.
or you have a certain background,
Mhm.
economic status.
Mhm.
And if you don't fit into any of those boxes, then like, what are you? Or
Yeah.
like, are you even like you said, how there's layers to this? I don't
There's
even
layers.
think people understand, because both of us, I think, are like,
I definitely don't. Yeah, no. I mean, this is all, obviously, I'm fucking white as shit. So, like,
Fabulous.
I've never, like...
we love you.
We love you.
But, no, like, this is honestly, like, good to hear, though, because this is never shit that I,
Yeah.
would really have heard without having met you guys and stuff like that.
And,
so
like-
I think it's great.
And like, just hearing you say, like, I feel like the term in the general, the term whitewashed is so problematic. Like, what does it mean to be whitewashed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that just like came in my head. I'm like, it's so fucking problematic. Like, are you equivalent that with like being educated, with
Yeah.
being well spoken?
Yep.
Like, that's fucked.
Yeah, and they bring that up.
With
They're
being,
like, oh, you speak
supporting
so
yourself.
well.
It's like, oh, you're privileged. Oh, you're this. Da 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 da. It's like, so you fight for black. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you fight for black people's rights, right? But at the same time, it's like, but if they're growing and they're getting educated and they're bettering themselves, then they're whitewashed. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
And they turn into
it's
some
so
kind of negative thing.
yeah,
Right.
it's so problematic. And like, there are layers. Like,
There
I
are.
don't know. There's layers.
I do
There's
think we
layers.
need to peel back the layers and like teach
Yeah.
people, because like if we look at high school for as an example,
Yeah.
and I don't put judgment or like negativity towards anyone. I think it's a growing pain, and we're
Yeah.
learning and
We're
understanding
all
what
doing the
that
best
means.
we can. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like even in the Black community, and I can only speak to my own experiences, right? We can only speak to our own individual experiences.
Yeah.
Like being a black immigrant is very
Yeah.
different than just
That's
being
real.
black.
Mm-hmm.
And like people don't understand that nuance
Yeah.
difference. Like
How is it different? Like,
yeah.
What are the...
Yeah.
Get into it.
yeah, great question.
Mhm.
So outwardly, like if you're just walking down the street, you might look at me and be like, okay, she's just another African American.
Mm.
And like while that might look true as representation outwardly,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like my cultural experiences, I don't resonate one bit.
Yeah.
Like there are things I can't relate with. Like for example, Ethiopia's never been enslaved, which is,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm just giving you pre-historical context. And so when my family came here, like we had resources. We had generational resources because it was like family to passing down to family. Like it's a very entrepreneurial country and I'm blessed for that. But also like I understand that I don't deal with certain contexts that like if maybe we grew up in a more affluent area or had access to more education and resources,
Yeah.
it's not because like the government, people do this all the time where they're like, oh, well, you got a free handout or it's affirmative action
Yeah.
or you did these things. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
maybe my parents just worked their ass off
Mm-hmm.
and
And earned it.
yeah, and earned it. And like there are
Yeah.
places, especially as African immigrants, that's actually one of the most successful groups, especially like in colleges. If you look at like college and grad schools as like pure achievement, statistics and numbers, they're one of the
real.
most successful like groups of all identifying groups that enter into like what's it called? I guess the American education system. And that gets so overlooked.
Yep.
Like if you take like the model minority and Asian Americans or just even Asian immigrants, right?
Yeah.
There's the idea that they get positive attributes, that they're so smart, they're so successful
Oh, yeah,
in math,
for
and like
sure.
all
Another
these assumptions, still
Another stereotype.
stereotypes,
Yeah.
not good or right. It's not
Yeah.
any better, but I mean like it's a positive association. Whereas like if you look at us and we're successful, it's like, who gave that to you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, they're just
Yeah,
doing
I
that
see.
because X, Y, and Z. It's like it's never that you earned it. It's either that, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
There's layers.
And now there's people who are like, oh, well, like they only got that job because they're black. You know, they're trying to meet their DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion
yeah,
requirement. It's like, so they didn't really earn it. And I'm just like, it boggles my fucking mind because multiple.
and there's
reasons.
things
It's-
that like
it's-
you deal with
it's
too as
really
like
fucking annoying.
being a mixed woman, like
yeah, for sure. And like I just feel like there again, there's so many layers. Like for instance, like I know, like I feel like being like a light skinned black woman, right? There's difference between like a dark skinned black woman. There's so many fucking layers.
yeah, even nuances
Like,
between ourselves.
Yeah, between ourselves. And I understand my own privilege in being light skinned sometimes, and like it's fucked. The world is a fucked up place, you guys. That is what we have learned. It is a fucked up place. Very fucked.
Always. Yes.
Like even at clubs,
Fucked.
I
Sorry,
remember
yes.
being in LA. There's
Yeah.
like very specific moments. Like promoters were like known for not letting you in based on how dark you were.
It's fucking disgusting.
God damn.
So people are evil.
I don't even know what to say to
We're
that.
getting
Like,
there though.
how-
Yeah.
we could be so far right now as like I always fucking say, my friends hate when I say this because I say this all the time, but like we could be so far as like fucking humanity, like we could just be like
I know. If we support each
out in
other,
the solar
Yeah.
system,
if we fucking
like,
support each other,
like solving world hunger, like if we all just fucking got our heads out of our asses and like just came together a
Yep.
little bit, like shit would be so much better off. It's crazy how we just don't see that.
I have a theory that it's going to happen when robots are so far advanced that racism
Right.
can't even be a fucking thing, and then it's going to be robots versus humans, and then people are like, okay,
We're gonna
humanity.
lose. If it's-
Then people will give a fuck.
If it's robots versus humans, we're gonna lose.
For sure.
Yeah, no, it's just.
And then that's when racism wins. It's
That-
just like, that
When
is
humanity is
my
wiped
theory.
out.
That's my theory.
Oh no! Hopefully it doesn't.
when
take
we're all
that
going
long.
down
Yeah,
together.
it's like,
Yeah.
brother, sister. Yeah,
we got very serious on this one.
yeah, that was deep.
That was deep. It's
I'm like-
real.
And I kind of like, I'm thinking of like our the older generations too, and like it kind of made me think about how black women, like just to touch on that really quickly, like black women back in time had to choose between being a woman and being black, right? There were these feminist marches, and oftentimes like black women couldn't attend because they would still be discriminated in that environment, and they felt like they had to choose being black or being a woman. They gravitate towards the black women. I just feel like there's, I don't know, that's kind of another story.
No,
but
no,
like,
I completely
you know
agree with you.
Like,
yeah,
that was
white
a thing, too.
feminism.
And they still have to bear all those challenges of being a woman, but they still can't, they have to choose one or the other.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily anymore, but back then that was definitely a thing. And it fucking sucks.
Like, even in little ways, and like, I don't think people, like, we deal with this every day.
Yeah.
Like, even little things where it's like, if we're gonna go out and we have to look presentable, and, you know, like,
Even Shingletown.
yeah, like, even if you go with your friends and like they all look done up because their hair is done, it's like, I can't straighten my hair every day. Like, I can't, or it'll fry off. And so some days I just have to accept that I'm in a ponytail or just like wearing a high bun, because I don't have the luxury of just having naturally straight hair, nor do I want to, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's real.
this is my own natural hair, and like, I would hope that I don't have to like keep conforming just like to meet those standards. But like, sometimes friends will judge you and be like, well, you don't look good, or you're not ready. Like, girls will judge you and be like,
douchey ass people. Oh, your hair's not laid.
yeah,
Take a lap.
yeah,
Take a fucking lap.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a thing.
and that will determine, are you invited to things? Will they introduce you to people?
Yeah.
Your opportunity. And it's like, what?
Yeah. And like, and that's even though Seattle's like known as being like the Seattle Freeze and it's passive aggressive and this, that, and the next, and like that's coming from a liberal place like Seattle. So imagine if we were like these conservative, like we do have the benefit of being a liberal state or city, but at the same time, it's like,
Do we?
layers.
Yeah, there's layers. The
There's
passive
layers.
aggression, the microaggression, like,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a lot of that has to do with like politics too, and
Yep.
like image. You
Yep.
know? Especially when it comes to like Seattle specifically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, anyone who's not from Seattle kind of views Seattle as like this like liberal safe
Yep.
haven.
The
you
chop.
Know? Like everyone's welcome.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that. But you know, when in reality, it's actually in a lot of places just as fucked up as it is in the worst places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I remember in high school, actually, I was, obviously I'm not going to say any names, but like, I came from a middle school
Oh yeah.
the same as another
yeah?
white girl, same middle school. We both participated in extracurricular activities. We both had good grades.
Yeah.
Very similar economic and socio backgrounds. What was interesting is like she got the full VIP treatment at high school when like they gave her the tours and they told her to come visit multiple times, and like
yes.
the head of the schools would talk to them. Like, we got my family got none of that.
Yeah.
They actually just waitlisted me.
Damn.
And mind you, her grades were better than hers.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Surnam's grades were better than the other girls.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I had fire grades, and
She sure did. Yeah, she did.
I did. The African in me.
Yes.
And then my mom had to call up the mayor and be like, look at what's going on.
Literally look. Yeah. No, it's happening.
Like
right
a
now.
1-for-1 situation,
Yeah.
God.
right? Like,
Yeah, like same
Yeah.
exact, pretty much everything except, you know.
Yeah.
she
Pickle.
called them out. Oh,
She
she
sure did.
called
Good.
that
She
out?
made a phone call. Yeah.
She made a phone call.
She made a phone call.
Rightfully so. Shit. Like.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
needs, I mean, props to your mom. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
needs to happen more. Like,
well,
not. I mean, you know. I guess.
yeah, no, I got you.
You know what I
So-
mean, yeah.
She made that phone call, and guess what? A week later, magically,
Oh, come.
a spot on the wait list.
Yeah. Wow.
Now I made it in.
The day has come. Yeah.
What a
It's fucked up.
coincidence.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. It's all about, you know, like I said, like the image thing. It's all about
Yeah.
like, you know, inclusivity and like all this other stuff, and then, you know, they don't actually think about it until, I don't know.
It doesn't actually
Yeah.
play out
Doesn't
how you.
actually-
Yeah.
It's like the little things you don't even think about. Like, even at work and stuff. Like, we have our own instances where it's
Yep.
like, and not just on like race, just stereotyping in general. Like, especially as being a woman, of like,
Yeah.
well, your slides are really pretty. Can you make these slides pretty? I hate.
Oh yeah.
Hearing
I
that?
remember, yeah. Yeah. You can go on. Yeah. No, but yeah, it's Storm's job. They'd be like, oh, like, can you just make these slides pretty? Can you do this? Like, they would never say that to a man.
Or they'll talk to you and be like,
Make it cute.
hey girl, hey,
Oh yeah.
what you doing? And I'm like, I don't talk like that.
Yeah. No.
Why are you talking like that? I know you don't talk like that to
Bob
Ranjanath
down
over
the street.
there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's so real.
That's so bad.
Are you talking to Joe like that?
Yeah. We know you're not.
Sure.
Are you talking to the
You're not
CEO
talking to
like
Joe
that?
What's going on, baby? Oh,
Don't even
hey,
try to act like
hello,
you are.
Joe. How are you today?
Yeah. I walked my dog today.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Man. Let me think.
I feel like you get a lot of that at work too.
I feel like at my old job, I definitely did. My new one, not so much. But for sure at my old job, like even on my first day, we went to a restaurant. The boss took us to a restaurant, and the server, like we had finished our food. It was a really nice, fancy restaurant. And then my boss, who was a white man, was like, oh, like go take that to the back, like so you boys can finish it or something. Like super disrespectful.
Wait, what?
Yeah, my first day of work at not my current job, but the job before that. No, 2 jobs before that. Yeah, my boss was like this white conservative prick, and he was just setting the tone. We were at a nice restaurant, and the server came to take the plates, and he was like, oh yeah, that's for you and the boys to go finish in the back. Like super fucking disrespectful. Yeah, so rude. It was a Hispanic server. So incredibly rude. And I don't even think he realized it, like how offensive that was. And
You and the boys?
yeah.
You and the boys,
Like,
assuming that there's more.
Yeah,
Right.
and like go eat, like go eat my scraps type shit.
That's
Disgusting. That's not even funny. He
terrible.
thought it was funny. I'm like, that's not funny.
Sir, nobody wants your...
No one wants your nasty ass.
How do we like sit these people down and like?
That's
fucking
my
straighten them
boss.
out?
Like,
Like, how does that work? What's gonna? It's like your boss is like what? How, I mean,
He was,
You would guess how old he was.
oh, he was like 50s white guy.
Okay, so that man's
grew up
still
here.
gonna be on this earth for another 20-ish
Yep.
years,
Yep.
20, 30 years.
Yep.
What? how
Hopefully
do
he
we-
learned something.
Hopefully, but like, how do you teach someone something like that?
Yeah.
You know, like, I guess in that moment you'd say, hey, dude, that's like fucked up. Like, why are you saying
So
some
fucked
shit
up.
like that? But
So
I don't
fucked
know.
up.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, I think we've grappled with this issue a lot, where it's like, do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it? Like, some people are just naturally receptive. Like,
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
truly love you and care for you, and like, usually the people that are closest to us do, right?
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
listen and they're gonna care about.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's usually the people that are like at a distance, which it's still not acceptable to do those things, and like we should still speak up.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it's like,
You at
Wha-
work with your boss for the first
Such
time.
a dick. Sorry.
Yeah,
he
it's
really
like-
was.
Hard to like say,
And then-
interject, and be like, oh, actually, you know, like.
Yeah.
it's like still
It's like-
weird situations where it's like, I don't feel like the first day of work.
First
thing?
day.
Yeah, first day
And like
of
that
work
was just
and
like, and that just set the tone, and it didn't end. Like
God.
I was spread really thin at work, and they were working to hire someone to support me, right? And they found a guy, and they loved him. It was a white man. They found him, they loved him, and then part of my role was also like taking care of the kitchen on Fridays and like cleaning and stuff. And he told the recruiting team, who told me, he was just like, I just can't see him doing dishes. Let's give him a higher role. Yeah, facts. He's like, I can't see him in the kitchen. And I was still, and they didn't hire anyone new, and I still had to support 18 recruiters by myself. And then now in that role, there's 2 people doing it, but they didn't even look back. They just gave him a higher role, which added more work to my plate. And I was so responsible for cleaning and all this shit. And the only thing was like, he's like, I just can't see him cleaning. Like, give him
That
a higher
was the only
position, but he could see
reason.
me cleaning.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The bullshit. That
That's
was.
BS.
I'm in a much better place now. Like I love the dynamic at my work's great now, but 2 jobs ago, not the business.
That's
Not
why
the
it's 2
business.
jobs ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on
No
up
business. Yeah.
to the east side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that got.
I mean, we're being
It's
real.
real.
We're
I
being
mean, it's
honest. Like,
real,
that's the
yeah.
whole point of this, is like, we're having conversations for people
Yeah.
who look like us,
Yeah.
relate to us, or want to learn from us and open up the discussion.
Yeah,
Like,
people
Yeah.
like me who
Yeah.
need to hear this kind of
Yeah.
stuff and need to be more aware of all these things that happen like under the surface that are just not.
but
you
we
know.
appreciate you having this
Yeah, I was just
conversation
about to
with
say
us.
that.
Well, of
like,
course. Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Like I'm grateful how open-minded you are, because a lot of people aren't. And
so many people aren't.
so many people aren't. Too many people aren't.
I cannot believe it. It's
Yeah.
astounding to me.
It's-
how many people don't want to just think outside of their own little bubble.
No.
And like
yeah.
just for a split second try to understand someone else's point of view.
They're like, it doesn't affect me, so I don't give a fuck,
It
or
doesn't,
it doesn't
like-
exist.
oh god.
and it's messed
or it doesn't
up.
exist. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's the biggest oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
like a whole other
I don't know
story.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
like,
what you're talking
What do you
I haven't
mean?
seen that.
It's right here. Look.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
continuously frustrated with the things that I see going on a day-to-day basis.
We had a funny moment. Actually, we never told the Starbucks story.
Oh yeah, Starbucks.
But like in the show, when she gets called the wrong name, the exact same thing happened to us.
to us, yeah.
So
We won't say the specific Starbucks.
yeah, basically, we would go to this Starbucks separately.
Yeah, constantly. Same
Okay.
Starbucks. No, go on. You can tell.
It's like both of our neighborhood Starbucks, right?
Uh-huh.
But we never went together.
Nope.
Okay.
Never.
We do now, but at the time we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a streak for like a solid like what? I would go in with like for 3 months, like
Yeah.
grabbing coffee for me and my mom.
Yeah. Same. Same.
Well, this one day, and I don't even know how this happened. You told
So
me.
I walked. So Seren and I both have like long black jackets, right? So I walked in, and he was like, "Oh, hey, Serendum," and I like looked, and I was like,
And I wasn't. Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he was like, "Serendum, hi, what's going on?" And I was just like, "I'm Sierra. Like, I'm not. Serendum's my best friend. Like, how did you know that? That's so weird." And he was like, "Wait, what?" And I was just like, "How do you know her?" And like, I knew she went there, but like, it was just so bizarre because like we're best friends as well. So
Yeah.
like, it was just weird. And he was like, "Oh, oops!" Like, and it got like really awkward. And I was like, "This is hella awkward." Like, I come in here constantly. Like, yeah. So that was that. He thought we were the same person.
And they
We
never
look nothing
knew.
alike.
Don't even look
We
alike.
look
No.
nothing alike. I think
No.
this was pre. I don't know if this was pre. I think regardless, even if it was during when we had mass, I know it was while we had mass. But even regardless,
Still, like
Even
we
then,
don't
you can
fucking
see,
look
like
alike.
eyes and like just
everything,
eyes enough.
everything about
Should
us
be-
is so different.
and this
Yeah.
area is like relatively diverse for Seattle too. On top
This
of that,
is like
And,
central Seattle.
Yeah. So
Good times.
that was like a few weeks ago,
Good times.
or a month ago. I don't know when that was. That was recently though. That was recently.
and we never went in together. That's the funny part.
No.
And they just still got us confused.
Somehow made the connection. They somehow knew.
Yeah.
And she actually lives closer, so I bet you went more
I'm there all
frequently.
the damn time. Like now they know
Yeah.
me on a first. They don't do that shit anymore.
They're like, ah,
yeah,
shit.
now they know. Now they know. Specifically that guy. He's like, "Oh, hey, Sierra." Like he tries really hard.
I bet he's like, Sierra.
How's it going?
I remember.
Hey, girl.
Probably, like keeps him up awake at night. Like that moment.
He
that
was
you're talking
embarrassed.
about.
He was. And it was. It was
Okay.
unintentional, but it just emphasizes the fact that that's like clearly still an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, like-
And that's a weird thing because like I'm sure that was like a subconscious thing. You know, obviously
Completely.
you felt,
Right.
like
he was so
intentionally,
sure.
Like oh like
This man was so
yeah.
sure. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Like I didn't know my damn name.
He had no clue.
Yeah.
Are you sure your name's? Are you
Yeah, he's like, "You sure about that?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
thought.
What?"
I probably knew your name better than you did. My bad.
Right.
Yeah, so that happened. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, whatever.
It was funny.
It was funny. It was funny. Yeah,
Good times.
yeah. I'm glad we talked about this though, because I feel like it is important. And
Shout out Maya and Sierra.
yeah, for real. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
is that,
seriously.
What show is that you guys are talking about? Is it like reality TV, kind of like Jersey
Yeah.
Shore,
My
kind
mouse.
of like
Summer. It's called Summer House.
Summer House? Okay.
Specifically, Birthday Hex is the episode.
I
Yes.
don't watch any of that shit like ever.
What do you
So,
watch?
I honestly watch a lot of anime. So
Uh,
that's kind of like
No, that's cool.
no, it's like on and popping now.
it's
A lot of people like anime.
I
Yeah.
definitely was, and when I was in high school, I was like, oh my god, these fucking weebs! I can't believe they're watching anime. Like I was that kid.
And then you watched one, you're
and
like,
then I watched it, and my jaw was like on the floor, and I was like, okay.
No,
so
a
I
lot of people
understand
I heard it's like easy to get stuck into it.
It's good,
Sucked
yeah,
into it for
it's
sure.
really
I've heard
easy.
about that.
now. Yeah, I know. It
People
definitely
love
is.
it.
They do.
It's
They really do.
Like, I mean, it's really just good like stories.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, you know, it's in another language and it's animated.
Actually, I know a lot of people that are into anime now I think about it.
It's like a
It's-
huge
yeah, it's like a
category.
thing. It's a
Big,
thing.
like-
Yeah.
There's been a wave.
Yeah.
I got caught in it, definitely.
Like whoosh.
It's like
Yeah. Like
not,
what?
not just
Whoosh,
a
like
trend.
the way
Like,
that
okay, gotcha.
Whoosh, sorry. My mind.
Insert white noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naruto.
No, I haven't watched that.
Oh.
I haven't watched any like the big popular ones. But
That's the only one I know.
that's all I watch.
I don't know
That
any
and-
anime.
That and Star Trek, that's it.
Dragon Ball Z? I mean,
That's an anime. You got that one. There you go.
Pokemon. It's all it is.
Am I in the right category?
Wait, is that right? Hufflepuff. I was a big fan of Hufflepuff growing
I used
up.
to be a huge Dragon Ball Z
yeah, my
watcher.
brothers loved Dragon Ball Z growing up.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
I didn't like it, but it was always on Saturday morning.
Gohan or whatever the fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, when
Yeah,
they had the little thing and they like popped it out in the cards.
Wait, what?
And there was like all this speed lightning behind them, like
Yeah.
always. No.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't
Anime is
remember.
usually visually pleasing as well. Like,
Yeah.
Very well. Good animes are, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's art.
It's
Art.
art.
It's art.
art.
It's art.
Artiste.
Just gotta dig deeper.
It's a little deeper.
Gotta dig
Deeper,
deeper.
guys. Deeper.
Yeah.
Always gotta dig deeper.
Oh. Euphoria.
Euphoria,
Oh my
honey.
God, everyone's telling me to
Euphoria,
watch
honey.
that.
You guys,
Everyone
I'm
is
not
telling me
behind
to
or
watch
anything.
I think you
I'm
guys
not
are the
behind.
two only people in the world who is not
Who's not
watching
that right
Euphoria
now?
and
Yeah.
obsessed
I'm
with
playing
it.
catch up right now. I'm playing catch up.
How? So it's. What's it about? I have no idea what it's about at all. I know. All I know is Zendaya.
Sabrina should probably describe. I mean,
Okay, so Euphoria.
Without spoiling.
I won't give you the details.
major key
I'll just
plots.
tell you enough.
Yeah. So many-
There's maybe like 6 or 7, maybe like 6 main key characters who are just high schoolers living their day-to-day lives. And like each one has like crazy childhood stories that make and shape who they are today.
Okay.
And so they for each episode they give you like context of the child growing up
Gotcha.
and then how that leads to today and like how
it
that shapes them as a
translates.
person.
Yeah.
Right. And as the show evolves, it's all about like how each one interacts with the other based on their triggers.
Okay.
Obviously there's like drugs involved, there's sex involved. But it has like a really interesting spin because I think it pulls more to like Gen Y. What is
Gen Z.
Are we Gen Y? Are we Gen Z?
No, we're millennials.
What's
Wait.
Gen Z?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Gen Z. Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Right?
Gen Z, and it's all about like
Don't ask me.
gender fluidity, sexuality, relationships, drugs,
I need to
Okay.
watch it.
like anything and everything is just like the door is open and kicked down. Like it's not it's not like Friends. Like this is
Yeah.
probably the opposite of Friends.
It's like really real and very
It's
like,
like that
super
deep,
raw,
like,
yeah.
raw shit.
raw. Okay. That's good.
I only watched 2 episodes at your house and I was drunk because after I got back to the bar. So I always have to start from the first one all
Yeah.
over again.
But basically, the show just ended, and
Like ended like they're not making it.
No, the season.
Okay.
the season just ended. They're gonna come out with a new season in 2 years.
That's fucked up. Because I know
How are you
people,
gonna wait? So
they know when something's popular that people will wait.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
And
It's
then
so
even-
fucked up.
Yeah. No, that's honestly, that's a good move because then the anticipation.
Yeah.
It's gonna build for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna sit there.
But it's gonna be
Yeah.
so weird when each character is like,
Oh, and they're gonna be so much older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More grown up. That's true. How are they? I've always wondered that.
That's
How
a
do
good
they
point.
Fucking like make someone look younger.
I don't
Right?
know.
You know, like they're so good at that. They're 30-year-olds out here like playing high school.
25. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go
I-
that. I didn't reach that high. I was like 25.
No, but still though, like, yeah, I have no idea. I'm trying to think.
Shout out Angus Cloud. I'm obsessed. But look up Angus Cloud. Sneaker. Like I don't know. They went sneaker shopping at Fight Club.
Angus Cloud sneaker shopping.
Just you got it. When you get home, when you guys get home, go look it up. It's
Googling.
fire.
Googling.
Fire.
Must Google.
Oh, there's all these guys coming out of the woodworks. I feel like we hit that age where it's like
Oh, Bumble.
all these guys just coming out of the woodworks like, you want to get married? Let's get married. And it's like,
What?
Oh, I know what you're
what?
talking about.
Like now? Like right
You
now?
actually had a great Serm has a great theory. She was saying how when a man's ready to get so basically men are fuckboys, right? I mean not all, but
No.
obviously.
We don't.
No,
Stereotypes. Rumor.
I think
We just talked about
safe generalization right there. I think that's safe.
But like men, how like they'll be fuckboys and like they'll like talk to great girls and they'll just like kind of like
Play around.
play around and play games, the mind tricks, the gas, all that bullshit.
Right.
But then once they're ready to get married, all of a sudden like the first woman they see or like anyone they're like, okay, that'll work. They'll be like, let's get married.
They'll just
Right now.
get ready.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. And then remember when you update, you don't talk about, like when you updated your Bumble to like
Oh.
plus, no, this is like some good
This
advice,
is
ladies. This is
ladies.
some good advice.
Ladies,
Ladies.
pay attention.
Girls. Grab the paper, grab the pen, sit down,
Get your notebooks.
focus. Ladies.
Okay, so we have. Oh, this is great. This is actually
Or
we
men
need to talk
for that
about
matter.
this.
Honestly, like it could go both ways.
Man,
It
you
could-
do it too.
It can go both ways.
We have a wedding to go to in September.
We sure
Okay.
do.
We're bridesmaids in a wedding.
Oh,
Yep.
fun.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? We're getting at that age. We're getting old.
I know.
Babies, kids, houses. None of which we have.
I'm like,
We're just here with you in a podcast.
no.
So
No.
this is really funny though. I jokingly
there.
told I told my friends, I was like, I'm gonna change my Bumble bio to say +1. Like I need
really
someone for a
fun.
wedding.
Gotcha.
It was really good.
Instantly, I changed it. What did I say?
You were like, need a +1 for September. May consider you for other things, haha, or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
cute. It was funny.
Okay,
It's kind of
gotcha,
witty. It was
gotcha.
cute.
Yeah.
I was very serious. I was like, well,
But actually, like,
let's get it going.
Yeah.
Instantly, the type of men that responded and liked, and the number of people extending connections, just went
the
through.
caliber. The caliber. I need to get back on the apps. I need to. I've been avoiding it.
It was so different. And then as soon as I started messaging people were like, I'm a great +1. I love weddings. I really want to go. And I was like, I kid you not. I was like, I have never seen this type of response ever.
So what's the deal? Like, why was it? Like, what happened?
Someone literally
What
wrote
is it
me.
about, like, seeing someone? Oh, I want to go to a wedding with this person. Like, how
Maybe
did
it's
that
like-
translate to?
Maybe it's like a subtle way of. We were kind of talking about this. So like maybe it's like a subtle way of saying you want to settle down, or like that your friends are kind of in that. I don't know.
So,
I don't
like,
know that
you're-
part of their
you're kinda
lives,
ready
or
to,
like I don't
settle
really
down
know.
or whatever it is.
Right,
I'm
like
not
maybe
really
it,
sure, like-
it triggers like more excitement to be like,
Yeah.
it might push people away who are like, I'm really not about this.
Yeah, it's like I see where you're at in your life. Like I see like the crowd you're with, because like typically you gravitate like towards like what your friends are doing, like what the
Right.
people you're connected with are doing,
Definitely, yeah.
and like yeah, no, go on. Yes.
This guy wrote this huge ass essay.
Zoom in, people.
Is that like paragraphs like spaced out and everything?
Yes.
Not
I
even
can blur out
separate
his name.
text. Wow.
Literally, all I said, all right, why should I pick you to be my +1? Go.
That's a good question.
I think just one quick. I think
start.
guys like the competition too. Just,
Yes.
Like, I think they like being like, because like they have that drive. That
I'm
inner,
gonna
like,
be that one.
inner alpha, like, like it's like
That,
like
testosterone starts pumping a
yeah,
little
it's
bit.
like I'm
Yeah.
gonna win. Okay, anyways,
It
go on,
can't be
go on.
anyone else. It has to be me.
And this is why.
This guy wrote this huge letter. Do you want me to say it or no?
Read it.
He's like,
Well, we have to. We have to say it.
okay, John, we're going to name him John. Dapper AF to start. Imagine Jason Gosling / Donald Draper / Indiana Jones. Space enter. New paragraph. I can't even like,
Space Center.
I can't even like say this seriously. Great dancer.
New paragraph.
... I probably should teach Zumba. Space enter.
Oh my god.
I'll always get your drink. ... Even though they're free, I'll still
Oh my
get it.
God. All these ... dots are so mysterious.
Right?
Wow.
Sir. What?
The suspense.
I'll grab your plate when I want to get seconds, or just get you a fresh one if you want anything. Did I mention great dancer? Oh, and happy to take your arm anywhere to meet and greet anyone, or save you from the ones you'd rather not. Also got an Uber app so you get home safe. I drive the boat.
What does that mean? I drive the boat. What does that
I
mean?
I left that one.
He's just the man of the house.
He's
you
the
know?
man.
He drives the boat.
He's the man.
I don't know. Don't ask
But
me.
isn't that bizarre?
So he's not the only
That's
one.
bizarre, right? What do you? I kind of want a
literally-
guy's take. Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
what do you think
I'm
it
kind
is?
of curious.
Okay.
Like,
Tell us.
That was cringy as fuck.
yeah, he's like, what the
I
fuck
was
are these dudes
hard
doing?
it was very hard for me to get through that, and it's crazy because there are so many guys out there that are like that. Like there are so I don't understand why.
Simp Nation.
Like it's just
Mm.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
that just seems like an AI generated response. You know, like if you
Googles.
ask like a robot to
Google like best wedding date. Like,
yeah, like,
yeah.
pickup line. Like
Yeah.
you programmed a robot to just like say pickup. Like that would be it. Like just.
Uh,
I don't-
Oh,
it's
okay.
so like
uh,
I don't know.
fuck boy.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just, so
maybe
it's just
is
not
it a
real.
fuckboy? I don't
I feel like
know.
that's not real. Like
No.
You think? Yeah.
for me, if I'm like trying to talk to someone, I'm gonna try to present myself as like true to myself as
Yeah.
I can. I feel like that's just like, I mean, unless he really is. I mean, like I'm sure he does all those things, but like just the way that he talks is just like,
It's so grandiose.
yeah, it's trying to be like Shakespeare. Like
It's gross.
relax, you're
Chill.
on Bumble.
He wrote an
Like-
essay.
You're not
He really wrote
fucking writing on parchment with a
Yeah.
like, ink and feather. You're not writing poetry there. Let's take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
That's
it's
funny.
quite crazy. It's
That's
wild.
All
funny.
because you just said you needed a +1.
That's
for
all
it.
I said.
But he wasn't the only one though. Like a lot
No,
of guys
there's, like,
really like
They came out the woodworks.
yeah, they really
Just
like
started
were like
springing up.
I'm using this. Like I'm gonna work with this. Yeah, like
They're like, I'm gonna make it to that wedding.
yeah,
Jeez. That's my wedding.
yeah. Like I am that
Going.
man. September.
He's like, September.
in Montana. It's in
Oh,
Montana.
it got me 2 dates though.
That's
It
good.
did. It did. It did get her 2 dates. So ladies.
There you go.
This is really funny. This is what I just remembered. Pickup lines, cheesy pick lines.
Okay.
So this girl at work is leaving, so we threw her a little goodbye party, and what was it on? Oh, I told our group, all the people we work with, I was like, oh, can you Venmo me however much money, blah blah blah, and we'll cover the gifts for this girl's goodbye party.
Did you tell me about this?
No, not yet, not yet.
I'm like, do I know this?
And so one of the girls sends me $15, and you know how on Venmo it shows you like, this person did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a little feed thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got the girl for her goodbye party donuts and flowers, which we were like, oh, that's considerate.
That's cute.
And she like publicly sent the money. She didn't put it to private. And a guy comments, and she actually says like 4 donuts, donuts, $15.
Right.
A guy goes and comments on it and says, where are my donuts?
Oh,
Ew.
Heart,
I'm like,
heart emoji,
ew.
lol.
I'm like, this is gonna be sexual. I felt it coming.
This man
He's trying to slide in on Venmo.
on Venmo.
What the
And
That's
fuck?
disgusting.
like he commented, and I saw it, and I was like, I literally messaged her. I was like, I hope you know this guy.
Like, cause I don't. Like, ew.
Oh my god.
I'm convinced COVID has made people crazy. Just bad shit.
There's no
Everyone is
way.
losing their damn minds. I'm
I mean,
convinced.
we were inside of our houses for fucking how long?
There's some loose
years at
screws.
this
Things
point.
aren't adding up. Like
Right?
that.
Just like forget how to talk to humans again.
Like, what does he think he's gonna
somehow.
get out of that?
That's what I said.
What does he think is gonna come of this?
Sir,
I got your donuts.
you're
sir.
not getting any donuts.
What? No.
No donuts for you.
No donuts.
But I think she was like humilified.
That's so
What's the
awkward.
word?
Humiliated.
Humilified. I think you had it right.
Humilified.
That was it.
She was humilified.
Especially when it's a coworker too. Like that's so awkward.
Right?
That's so fucking
I
awkward.
screenshot and sent it to her because I really didn't know who this guy was.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he knew me or like.
That's so.
But it was her
uncomfortable.
coworker that like did that.
No,
Or no?
he doesn't even work with us.
Doesn't even-
I guess it's
Literally-
kinda cuffing season.
Yeah.
It's winter.
And I was like,
the reasons.
Cheesy
Reasons.
pickup line, and she was like, yeah.
Oh my god.
She was like, sigh.
sigh.
God.
There's levels. It's a new level.
Ew.
Where do you have to be in life to like be scrolling through like that Venmo feed to try to like
That's
get in like
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no
there are
idea.
dating apps? Like
I have
I'm
no
I'm
idea.
sure that person has them, but like just keep it there.
He's like, I'm keeping my options open. Like
Everywhere.
every app.
I'm using every resource.
Every
I
single
have.
resource.
And he commented not like
Every single
days
one.
later. He commented in like 5 minutes of her
But
sending the
there
money.
was, like, he was like
That's
refreshing
nasty.
it or
He's
some
like
shit.
notifications alerts on.
Oh my
Venmo.
Venmo.
You're like, rent. Where's my rent money?
He's like, so.
Tacos.
guys.
Where's my tacos?
Tacos.
But speaking
That's
of which, though,
cringy. That's
masks
so cringy.
come off March
March
12th. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
We can show our faces again.
Oh my God, it's
and
gonna
be
feel
cute
so-
out in the
It's
world.
gonna feel so
Oh,
weird,
yeah,
you
we can
guys.
all
I
be
feel like
cute again.
I feel like we've gotten so used to like wearing masks, so it's gonna feel really fucking uncomfortable at first.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Like it's gonna feel weird,
Prime time.
especially in Seattle. Like other states are more lax about it right now, but especially in Seattle, it's gonna feel.
Yeah.
I feel like people are like attached to their shit, right? Like they're attached to the mask.
Yeah.
But
I'm not.
I am excited.
not.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm over
Yeah,
it.
I think-
I'm over
I
it.
think
But
generally people are gonna be like happy.
Yeah,
about
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, just it was
For
so
sure.
weird. Yeah, I don't know.
hopefully,
Hopefully,
March 12th. That's around the corner.
there are gonna be some people out there that are flipping shelves at grocery stores.
Yeah.
not wearing masks.
Yeah,
but-
looking around like,
what's
yeah.
going on? We're all masks.
Yeah,
I'm not safe here.
It's gonna be awkward.
it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
like
gonna be real
workout
weird.
classes.
All of it.
Like we're still gonna be shamed into wearing it probably.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird.
Oh my God, that's next week.
Yeah,
That's
it's here.
Super, that's super soon. Well,
But you know what that means?
bars going out. Yes.
We cannot wear
The
masks
husband
and
hunt
show our
continues.
faces again. Yeah. Do you know how many opportunities?
COVID took a lot of precious years. Like it really did.
It was like
A lot of precious dating years.
Prime years.
Prime.
No, it's not a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. prime.
Prime years.
Prime years, for sure.
And now the dating scene, I don't know. Do you think dating will go down or go up? Like, do you think people are going to be more inclined to want to be in a relationship or less inclined? Because now that we went through it, it's like, well, what if the next pandemic happens or the next World War III breaks out?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I think it's going to go up.
You think more
Maybe that's wishful
relationships?
thinking. I think it's going to go up. I think a lot of people got booed up during COVID to like have that like that security and comfort like while they were.
Yeah, pull it closer to you.
It's too far. Did I move it? I pushed it out. Like that security and comfort while we were on lockdown. But I feel like now, and I feel like people feel like they have like time to make. They have to make up for lost time, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's going to go up.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of
so,
suck
too.
if everyone was just like, you know what? I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life.
Like this is
COVID
good.
ruined
Yeah.
it.
This is good.
This is
I
it.
like this. I like this.
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Kind of sucks. It was not a good. I mean, it was such a weird time. Oh my god, for COVID to come.
Yeah.
We're at such
The
a like,
shittiest timing.
I feel like right now we're at such like a volatile point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every like just like world like obviously shit going on in Russia right
Yeah.
now, Ukraine like.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just like one really bad thing away from just like tipping over the edge.
I think so,
like,
too.
Something like just I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had that feeling ever since COVID started. Like I've just kind of been a little paranoid about
Because it's
that.
been like it's been a constant shitstorm if you think about it.
It
Like a
has.
Yeah.
constant shitstorm. Like police brutality.
I feel
like
it's just always like
like-
it's been solely bad news.
Yeah.
for
That's
the
what
past,
I-
like 2 years.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about, though. It's like news fatigue.
Yeah.
Like, if you notice, the news outlets just constant stories of like chaos, which I get.
Yeah.
It's the news. There's always going
Yeah.
to be a breakout. But I'm like, is there a point at which where it's like, is all of this actually genuinely like exactly what they portray it to be as?
Probably not.
Like, you think the world is really just up in flames every day?
I don't think so.
uh,
I think it's hard to like. Me personally, I have a really hard time kind of like believing a lot of things. to be
Yeah.
honest,
Same.
Fair.
that are coming out nowadays.
Thank
Because
you.
Nowadays, anyone can write anything on the
Yep.
internet and make it sound legit, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't know because you don't know that person. You don't even know their name. You don't
Yeah.
even know their background. You know nothing.
Right.
News has been. I feel like news has been that way for. I never give a shit about like watching the news, like all that shit is. Ugh.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a business, right?
It is a
What their
business.
number one priority is views.
Yep, and
It's
they're
about
gonna,
entertainment. It's about keeping people sucked in,
Mhm.
keeping them on the edge. Like
Yep.
it's about money.
and that's
it's not
why
about yeah.
it's mostly they're mostly going to report on like
Yep.
tragedy and
It's like, what
shit that's,
tragedy's
like-
next?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, who died today? Like that's
Yeah.
like it's never. I don't know. I guess you get that.
No, I totally
Local,
agree. Yeah.
story
Yeah.
Every once in a while, but it's like, it's a business. That's
It's
and
about
people-
money.
the biggest
Yeah.
biggest issue is that people like believe in that shit and like
Right.
that's all they and they don't go
Yeah.
farther than that.
Yeah.
It's
They
like
take
critical
that as it
thinking.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
And so they don't think it's like, oh, they don't think these thoughts that we're having, like, oh, they're a business, they're trying to get you to,
Yep.
like maybe it might not be reported as accurately as,
Yeah, and if you flip the channel, it's a completely different narrative, right?
Exactly.
Like completely different. So what's the truth?
what is the
We
truth?
don't know.
It's
Nope.
you can't get truth from someone else, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But that's why, actually, like, now that I think about it, it's like I really don't like the idea that we have this like bipartisan like
Yeah.
democratic system, because it's like, especially with the Trump era, it's like you either had to lean left or you had to lean right, and there was no in between. There was no shades of gray.
lines were drawn. Big
Right.
time.
You're either
Yeah.
here or you're
You
there.
had to choose.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
people implied that as like you're racist or you're
Yeah.
not a racist.
It's
When it
like,
came to Trump,
you're
yeah.
morally
Right.
it's like you're an asshole or like you're a good person. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like that translated into the news too, right? We think
yeah.
about like specific news sources are going to lean towards one side or the other, and so they're really playing into that like polarity of like absolutism. And it's like
Yeah.
there's probably a world in which where everything's kind of like in the middle. Maybe sometimes we lean this way and sometimes we lean that way.
Yeah, but it's
That's-
just not on the menu, right? It's like
Yeah.
you have to choose one or the other.
Yep.
But it's weird that like
sucks.
we
It
even associate a political party to the news. If you think about it,
Yep.
it's like, well, why wouldn't the news just be factual evidence and information? And it's
Yep.
not. It's actually
Like,
like,
that's too easy.
right. It's like a value system to say like, well, what do you lean with?
It's like religion.
right.
Yeah.
It's not news
It's a great
anymore.
yeah,
Or, like,
seriously.
politics isn't just politics. It's not about
Yeah.
you know, what's
That's
actually
real.
going to be the best thing for everyone in the country and for the country. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you believe in?
Mhm.
Right.
What do you like? Do you let's get into all these issues and topics and what do you, if you don't believe in what I believe in, we can't get along. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Like it's really really hard to. At least I've found it's been hard for me to like have a conversation about politics with someone, and it not turn up.
It gets heated.
It gets heated.
It gets
It's
heated.
an argument. It's not. It's never a discussion. It's always like, you know,
People
like
are
an
so
argument
passionate,
or, you
yeah.
know, yeah.
So
And that's-
passionate about it.
I'm not even like very political at all. You know,
Yeah.
I
It's
kinda
because it's
just-
messy. It's drama.
It's messy.
Like,
It's like
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
drama.
No, you're you were the
fucking
No,
least.
you're
No,
so
no,
much.
oh my god, yeah, we know.
And like it's just a big reflection. Like I just can't give a shit. I just
Yeah.
can't be asked.
Understandable.
But isn't it weird that we
Yeah.
call the news politics? Like, think
Yep.
about that.
Yeah,
Disassociate the word politics, right? Because we know politics is like
Yep.
Is
government, policy,
Yep.
laws and institutions.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to report out on those things. It's just we associate the news so heavily with that
Yep.
because that's
that's what
Yep.
it's been leaning toward. That's what it's
Right.
like, that's what it is now.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
don't
no one.
know the
That's a good
specifics.
point. And no one questions it. No
Yeah.
one.
No,
It just
Right.
is what it is.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like when you want to learn about
Such a fucked up world, you guys.
like think about like when we were watching the Trump and Hillary Clinton
Oh, the debates.
debates, right? You immediately were like, let me go to a news source.
Mhm.
You weren't
Yep.
like, let me go to TMZ.com.
Yep. It's like let me
Yeah,
get the
no,
dirt on
right.
there. Nasty woman. Yeah.
CNN's reporting
Nasty,
on this
nasty
or
woman.
whatever it is.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's like news and politics has been so ingratiated with one another that we can't disassociate the two
Nope.
now. We don't know the difference between how to actually do true news
Yeah.
versus like following our like own political beliefs.
Because everything that they report is for political gain. Like that's
Right.
that's all they care about.
Yeah. Reviews and numbers and
We should call this episode "Fucked Up World."
Fake
Dun, dun,
news.
dun. Fake news. Yes. Fucked
Good
Up World
times.
2022.
good times. Love it. Jolly old good
Yeah.
times here in America.
Jolly old good time.
What are we at? We're probably at time, huh?
Yeah, you're at an hour right now.
Oh, that was
Perf.
perfect timing.
So, yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I know it was definitely like a heavier but extremely
That's good.
important topic, multiple topics. And so thank you for staying with us and engaging with us, listening, and that
Peace
is all
out.
she wrote. That is all she
I
wrote.
love that. See us next week.
Peace out.
Out.